Millions are injured, homeless, desperate, and in the wake of Super Typhoon Haiyan, a new calamity is threatening survivors in the Philippines. There's little food inside the disaster zone, no clean water, and if help doesn't arrive in the next few days, the number of dead could rise exponentially. More than 1,700 people are confirmed dead. At least 333 Canadians are in the disaster zone. Officially, their condition is unknown. A huge challenge tonight, providing the basics. More than 2 million people need food and water. That's the big picture, and it's leading to countless scenes like this. Tacloban Airport. Thousands had camped out, desperate to escape the city.
We need help, we need food, we need water.
When a military plane landed, they pushed through the gates, knowing room is scarce. Aid can't come soon enough. Much of it is being gathered 200 kilometers to the southwest in Cebu. And that's where our Chris Brown is now. Chris.
Well, Peter, Cebu has become a hub for relief efforts for the whole typhoon zone. Communities to the north of here suffered extensive damage, but it's in the nearby city of Tacloban where the situation appears most dire. In Tacloban, disease is the new enemy. There's hardly any food or fresh water, so people improvise the only way they can, straining water and hoping they won't get sick.
We can survive without these houses. It's okay for us to anywhere, we'll sleep anywhere, but we need food, only food.
Help is coming, but the geography of this nation of islands and the logistics of getting around with so many roads washed out has made relief work excruciatingly slow. The scenes at the city's hospital are almost unspeakably awful. The building was flooded in the typhoon, and by any normal measure, it should be condemned. Only doctors say the sick and dying simply have nowhere else to go.
We are admitting them as much as we can because we cannot refuse them. We are managing them in the available supplies, medicines, and manpower.
5 days after the wind and waves hit, bodies are still lying in the open, in cadaver bags or in makeshift morgues. But there is simply not the manpower nor the machinery at this point to conduct a proper grid search. Nonetheless, the city's beleaguered mayor says they are trying. So many bodies are still buried under the debris, he says. The only way searchers know where to look is by the smell. Help will eventually arrive. We visited this aid center in Cebu, where local businesses have donated food and university students packed it up.
Oh, it feels so sad, really sad. We're just so lucky that we spare.
With luck, all this will be in Tacloban by the morning. There's more help arriving from the outside on the tarmac at the airport from places like Taiwan.
This is just the first batch. Right now we have collected around 100 tons of material.
The damage, of course, stretched across a huge swath of the central Philippines, and many people in villages have mostly left to their own to pick up and start over. When the typhoon hit, he says, there was a sudden gush of water like a tsunami. For some, the nightmare keeps replaying itself. The pace of the relief effort should start to quicken now. The United States, Australia, and Great Britain all have military ships in this region. But when people are reduced to scrounging the streets for food, that help can't come fast enough. Peter.
You know, Chris, we can see obviously it's now Wednesday in the Philippines, but there's added misery there for millions of people.
Well, the weather has not been good. There's been a lot of rain, a lot of thunder showers, more heavy winds. Yesterday, a number of flights into Tacloban were canceled. That really constrained some of the humanitarian efforts. And although it's clear now, we understand all day there's going to be thunderstorms and for the next couple of days as well. Peter.
All right, Chris, thank you. Chris Brown in Cebu, the Philippines. We're hearing heartbreaking stories from members of the Filipino community here in Canada. CBC News met with one man from near Tacloban. He immigrated to Canada just last year. Today, he learned 11 relatives, including his grandmother, were killed in the storm.
It's really so sad for me that now. I don't know where to start like that. That all the family is already missing or gone.
Another 26 members of Marvin Pangliaman's family are still missing.